we can delve into the newspapers now. I think it's a good time to do that. Let's leave the Heritage Caravan. Charlie, see the soup.
But you know, you can't, you just can't. You know, and when all the pictures and videos are being sent to the platform.
Yeah.
The nerve.
I know.
You know, why are you showing me?
Exactly.
Why? Why are you showing me?
Anyway, we'll be fine now. I think you've done quite well already. We've survived the past 6 days, right? So this last day...
We'll be fine. I know usually the last days are very dangerous. It's very painful. It's very painful to know what is happening.
Yeah, the last days are more exciting.
They'll come back with a recap.
Anyway, so now how we meet a daily graphic weekend special. Tidal waves victims receive fresh hope. This story is on the front page. Like I said, it comes along with photographs of ravages caused by the recent tidal waves at Agaveji. President assures of permanent solution soon. We also know that he directed the finance minister to make budgetary allocations for the completion of this particular project. This story comes with a photograph of James Gunu, who is the Volta regional minister, and President Mahama at Agaveji in the Volta region. Also here, Cabinet approves 2025 budget, focuses on economic recovery, tax reforms, energy sector overhaul. Also here, Bono region losing fertile land, forest reserves to Galamsey activities. Stories on page 12 and 21 of the Daily Graphic Weekend Special. And on the back page, Justice for Pole, defining moments in fights to restore Ghana's football integrity. Now, do you have any stories for us?
Yeah, I do. For The Spectator, it's here as a Amamole Chiefs banish ghost on Pokwasi Awoshi Highway.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. And then pastor in court over visa fraud. Do you believe that?
Well, I do.
You
Unfortunately, yeah, the way things work in this country, a lot of the time, you know, I'm not surprised.
I'm not your body.
Exactly. I'm not even surprised it involves pastors now.
Okay, I have you on the Mirror. Front page here says, get you the Foriwa Fefwame, a visually impaired trailblazer leading disability advocacy. I think as in the same school with her daughter.
Oh, okay.
And in the same block.
Oh, really?
But she was a year older. Like she was in 1 year ahead of me.
Wow.
She's a very pretty, intelligent lady. And this one here also says a strengthening support system to enable women succeed, which I agree. You can find that story in the Mirror on the page, on page 3. And then for Gertrude, the visually impaired trailblazer, you can find that on page 10. Again, on the same Mirror, says how can I get custody of my children? Well, it's a story we can find on page 12. And so that's what I have. Probably would want to delve deep into that.
Now, let me take you online, right? And start with the citynewsroom.com online portal. Isaac Adongo chairs Finance Committee. Abena Osei-Asare to lead the Public Accounts Committee as chairperson. You know, that's one of the few committees, together with, I think, Government Assurances, where the minority, you know, chair the committee. Also here, College of Savannah Region, College of Education students urge government to fix infrastructure deficit after absorption. Also here, Ochiman youth demand respect for leaders amid JB Dankwa controversy. EC contract workers to demand unpaid wages for 2024 elections. And also here, focus on solutions, not problems. Collins Adomako Mensah to Energy Minister. He was speaking on the Eyewitness News yesterday with Selom Adonu. Also here, Mahama assigns Interior Minister as acting National Security Minister. Man jailed for stealing laptop at Labour Ministry. And also here, Parliament approves Sermsai Nyako Ampim, who is Deputy Finance Minister Designate, Broja Jemfi, Deputy Defense Minister Designate, Richard John Mensah, Deputy Energy Minister Designate, and others as Deputy Ministers. Well, also here, Mahama has appointed only 30 presidential staffers, not 100. Felix Kwachio Fosu with that one. And also, we are not shedding load. Energy Minister John Jinapo, he spoke after, you know, a cabinet meeting presser yesterday. And also PSWU criticizes Neil Moy Thompson over TVs in government officer's remarks. And
Right.
yes, these are some of the big headline stories right here on Channel One Newsroom. You have any headlines for us?
I just have these two. So we just go deep into the main ones that I have for the Mirror. And so I'm reading the Get You the Foriwa Performer story, which is a visually impaired trailblazer leading disability advocacy. We can find that on page 10.
Yeah.
And so here, at age 10 and in primary 6, she realized she couldn't read clearly from the blackboard. A worrying situation that resulted in several hospital appointments and different eye treatment processes as she grew till she finally lost her sight around age 30. That's strong. Her visual impairment was caused by retinal dystrophy, genetic eye conditions that led to decreased vision over time. Even before losing her sight completely, she encountered many obstacles that could have prevented her from continuing her education and pursuing her dreams. However, her determination, faith in God, and the support from her family and some close acquaintances set her on a different path. So Mrs. Gertrude Oforiwa Fefwame, who is 67 and a mother of 3, is the immediate past chair of the United Nations Committee on the Rights of Persons with Disability, Global Advocacy Manager, Social Inclusion, Sight Savers Global President, International Council for Education of People with Visual Impairment, and Commissioner, World Council of Churches. Reading this actually makes me so proud, and I'm just realizing that today is the 8th of March, and it's actually International Women's Day.
Yeah.
Yay.
Shout outs to all the lovely women out there.
Yay.
You know, starting right here from Channel One,
Right.
City FM, you know, from head of HR to head of news to head of events to head of programs. Actually, we should do it well, right?
We should
so
do it
our head
well.
of HR, Miss Jen.
Miss Jen.
Yes, to our head of news, Vivian Kailoko. Our head of events and partnership, Miss Frems. Oh, Charlie, Miss
Original
Frems.
Take Frems.
Yeah, Freme Dunyami, right. Then had our head of programs production. Yeah, Channel One TV, Apioko, you know, Ashon, Abe Ashon. You know, have I missed out any? To all the lovely newsroom, you know, my colleagues in the newsroom. Yes, our deputy head of administration, Obo,
and then Ivy
Adusu,
for sales,
and our head of TV sales. You know, come think about it. We have a lot of very strong women in very powerful positions.
Yeah, you missed me.
Yeah. Oh,
You missed me.
But I'm not done now.
Okay.
I'm not done.
Okay.
To our only class teacher. Oh, Charlie.
Let me sit one.
The one and only class teacher.
Thank you.
Happy International Women's Day now.
Thank you.
You know, you
But
guys.
you're just saying it.
You know, no.
Monchade.
No. They say no, they say can.
Monchade.
You can't son ya chardy. What you say? You know, come think about it, because you guys are doing very well in a really male-dominated space, right? And it's often said that, like, to have people, you know, especially women, take very strong leadership positions like that, you know, it's a lot, because the system is not designed to have women lead like that.
Right.
But some way, somehow, you guys are blazing the trail, and you know, it's amazing. It takes my mind back to the vice president's speech,
right.
You know, her victory acceptance speech when the NDC won the election, right? And the NDC was announced winner. You know, in the acceptance speech, she said something that was quite profound for me. She said that the feat she's achieved, you know, she's the first of many, right? First vice chancellor, first woman vice chancellor, first woman this, and now first woman vice president, right? And she said something that, see, her job or her task ahead is to leave the door open, right? So after opening the door, now it's her duty or responsibility to leave the door open. So I thought that was quite profound, right? And like I'm saying, happy International Women's Day to all of you really amazing women out there, especially the women here at Channel One.
We missed the directors, because there's also a male-dominated.
Yeah, exactly. But we have quite a number of directors, right?
Yeah,
so we have our director for today, Gifty,
woohoo,
you know, who happens to be an amazing salsa dancer and a very talented person. Yeah, all around.
I guess you didn't say.
You know, if she handles the camera, you won't believe it. You know, and we have others, you know, Pearl. In fact, the two Pearls as directors. So, and the newsroom, amazing really? People. You know, I don't want to mention and leave some out. So, shout outs, happy International Women's Day to all the lovely women right here at City and Channel One TV.
We'll and all of you
out there, exactly.
All of you listening, we'll continue making you proud as well. So happy International Women's Day to you, to my mom, to all the beautiful women in my life. We say that you've done well, are you cool, continue being great, and enjoy this beautiful Sunday. I probably might pass by with breakfast if I know your house.
Don't promise.
Promise is large.
Don't promise and be hot because people hold you to account. Now, let me take you to the Daily Graphic Weekend Special front page. Tidal wave victims receive fresh hope. President Mahama assures of permanent solution. So President John Dramani Mahama has pledged government's determination to find a permanent solution to the ruthless and persistent tidal waves invasion of the coastal communities of Agaveji, Salakope, and Amutinu in the Ketu South municipality in the Volta region. We already have a comprehensive report on the situation, the feasibility studies, and the design for the Blekusu Phase 2 Sea Defense project are ready, and we just have to allocate the funding for the project, he said. President Mahama said this at a mini demo of chiefs and people of the affected communities at the Agaveji community last Thursday after touring the areas affected or destroyed by the tidal waves to see at first hand the damage caused by the sea. The president visited the area moments after presiding over affairs at Ghana's 68th Independence Day celebration at the Jubilee House in Accra. He told the people that he would direct the Minister of Finance to include the sea defense project required in the expenditure in the budget statement scheduled to be presented on Parliament on Tuesday. Right. So now this is really huge. You know, tidal waves.
We spoke about it last week.
It's been, exactly. We talked about it last week, and we mentioned that it's been causing, you know, a serious devastating effect to residents there. And for me, I didn't understand why all these years we've not found a solution to it. We've seen it in budget. The former minister, Francis Asenso Boache, repeated it countless times, government's intention. But that intention didn't materialize, you know. So for me, I think it's a fresh breath of hope to see that the president, after the State of the Nation address, immediately
working.
You know, it shows his seriousness, right, in trying to bring relief and a permanent solution. He didn't only go there; his ministers were there with him, MPs were there. Agbana, Ketu North MP was there. Okujetua Blakwa, Government Agboja, who is a minister for roads, they were all there. So that was great, you know. But at that particular event, you also saw, you know, a scene that's got a lot of people talking.
Right.
So at one point, the president's brother Ibrahim Mahama drove the president, right? And some people have described it as inappropriate. Some even said it was irresponsible on social media because, you know, it doesn't give a good look, right?
Okay.
It speaks to a lack of standards, right? You know, I've seen other people also defend to say that, well, he's a car guy. You know, he's his brother.
That's his brother.
You know, we don't love him than his brother, but that's not the point. The point really is that it's a breach of protocol, right? He's a president now. He's not just your brother, right? So there are protocols, there are certain standards, right? There are certain security training you need to be able to drive the president. If he doesn't have all of that, then it's wrong. You know, but you see foot soldiers jump on it, defend, and I've always said that, see, you know, the Ghanaian youth especially, right? They have this something of a near fetish for rich people, where that they can see them do no wrong. And
did you say near fetish?
Yeah, because that's what it is. Like, they are so enamored by the presence of rich folks that it gets to a certain point that
lose their sense of
and they can see no wrong. But would have criticized these same people, foot soldiers, would have criticized it was somebody else, right? So my point really is that I didn't think it was appropriate. Right, but this is not what we should be talking about, right? And some of these things take the light or the shine away from the very important things that we should be discussing. The president went there, donations were made. That should have been the focus, right? But you give opposition and other people the chance to just talk about things that, you know, take attention away from it. So, shout outs to government. I think it was timely.
Should relax.
It was necessary, right? We saw the minister even go sleep with the victims. Hey, yes. When I say sleep,
no.
As in, you know, join them to sleep.
By the roadside.
You didn't sleep with them.
Okay.
You know, that was, you know, people said it was cloud chasing and all of that, but I felt he was showing solidarity, which is great. And
but there was another part that said that he was out by dawn.
I mean, I didn't see. I saw him just leaving it. Right, it shows solidarity, whatever the case is. And the following day, the president went there with his entourage, full team. Right, so let's not give room for people to, you know, foot soldiers, they need to calm down. I wanted to mention some names
calm
on
down
Twitter.
small.
I'll let it slide.
You are boiling.
Because it's annoying
blood is
sometimes.
hot. Your blood is hot.
Now I'm calm down.
Let me calm you with this story. Let me calm you with this particular one. So on the Spectator on page 3, it says Amamole chief banishes ghost from Pokasi-Awoshi interchange. Now let's get into the story. I find it a bit fascinating, but let's get into the story. So the acting chief of Amamole and head of Ni Tete Okpe family, Ni Ashite Tete, last Saturday performed rituals to banish ghosts from Dablekuma, Olebu, Amamole, Awoshi Highway. The banishment of ghosts is a customary ritual and magical ceremony to stop the rampant road accidents that claimed several lives on the road. Ni Ashite Tete told the Spectator that the existence of ghosts on the aforementioned stretch of the highway was one of the reasons of the high number of accidents that occurs. So now here's what. These are spirits that have lingered on the road for years and have not been removed. For that reason, what they do is that they cause more accidents to spill more blood. Interesting. Several animals and birds, including 2 bulls, were sacrificed to designate points of the highway before moving to the cemetery to perform ceremonial rituals that removes non-physical influences such as spirits sagging the place. So in addition, libation was poured, indeed, in the attempt to get rid of spirits from the area. That particular cemetery is believed to house the ancestors of the Gas state who first settled at Amamole. Yeah. Interesting, eh?
Very, very interesting.
Interesting. We believe in a lot of things. I think this is one.
Yeah.
But you said you actually believe that this is true. It can happen.
Far-fetched. But yeah, very far-fetched for me.
That's what's causing most of the accidents on the road.
I don't think so.
You don't think
I
so?
think
I
what
think
is
it's just human behavioral.
Yeah, exactly.
Something.
What is causing, people have a lot of belief systems, right? You can't fault them.
You can't fault
right? Some of them is cultural. But to a very large extent, the primary cause of road accidents, and there's statistics to prove this, is human behavior, driver behavior. Leading second is the nature of the cars,
right?
The faulty nature of the cars. A lot of cars on our roads that shouldn't be on our road, right? Yeah, you can push to even say road markings and all of that could fall under human behavior, or maybe then government institutions failure to do the right thing. I remember on my auto show on City FM, I hosted a car show on Thursday, and I had a government official, right, or let me say a civil servant, I worked for government, worked for the National Road Safety Authority, come on the show, tell me that a lot of the time road accidents are caused, but to be fair, it was very sarcastic, right? But she made the answer quite forcefully, that a lot of road accidents were caused by men who were watching women with big buttocks.
Really? Even on highways? What is the woman with a big buttocks walking on the highway?
So you see, a lot of the time we've trivialized the issue to include other reasons that may not necessarily be the case. But the truth is that a lot of people are irresponsible. On the road. Take the East Legon accident. Yes, you killed 2 innocent girls too, just like that, because you wanted to test the speed of a car. That is as irresponsible as it can get, right? So I hope that you are able to differentiate the real issues and not get lost in,
But again, it's the belief. So we accept that. If that is also an angle that's going to help, we accept.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We pray that it helps. Now, I had so many things to talk about. Let me just bring this very one because it's of interest to a lot of people, right? So Isaac Adongo chairs Finance Committee. Abena Osei-Asare, who is a former Deputy Finance Minister, subsequently became Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, has been appointed to the Public Accounts Committee as chairperson. So Parliament has announced a recomposition of its committees, introducing notable leadership appointments aimed at enhancing legislative oversight and governance. Among the key changes include Abena Osei-Asare, who has been appointed as chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, a crucial body responsible for scrutinizing government financial expenditures and ensuring accountability in the use of public funds. She succeeds James Aveji, who was a former member of Parliament for K2 North. He was replaced by the Magbana. So he previously held a position. He's now I think, Director General for Security and Exchanges Commission. In another significant appointment, Isaac Adongo, Member of Parliament for Bolgatanga Central, has been named chairman of the Finance Committee. Remember, he was appointed to the board of the Bank of Ghana, which is already a very juicy, you know, he has
Why
juice.
you say juicy?
He has
Juicy
juice.
like
No,
what?
there's, you know, Bank of Ghana has juice.
How do you know that?
Oh, Charlie.
It's a lot of work, oh.
Yeah,
Oh, you think it's
a lot
so
of
it's
work.
a lot of work that brings out
That brings
juicy
juice.
results. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, nah, you get it. You get it. So, with his expertise in economic and fiscal issues, Adongo will lead a committee in reviewing the national budget, tax policies, and other critical financial issues. You know, it's important to note that the former finance committee chair, Kweku Ajeman Kwatin, who's member of parliament for Boase West, you know, he held a position. Prior to him, there was this other guy, he was a former member of parliament, I think New Jabin, you know, but he was removed. The name just came me, but he was also part of the Baumia campaign. The name just came me, you know. But Kwatin once described his own government's handling of the economy as a Ponzi scheme. You know, I'm telling you, the finance committee chair, he said the way Nanado and Baumia handled the country's economy, and this is own party people, was like a Ponzi scheme. You see, the finance committee chair position is a very big position. You are responsible for a lot of oversight on the executive in terms of finance, right? You are reviewing tax policies, tax exemptions, which is like a new area a lot of the politicians look at to give money to cronies and all of that, right? So it's a very important position.
Wonderful.
Whoever holds it. So a lot of eyes will be on Isaac Adongo. You know, a lot of people thought he would have been finance minister or even deputy, but the president had other plans. So we'll see how he's able to steer the affairs of the Finance Committee of Parliament.
Okay, so that's all we have for the newspaper review.